Welcome to this video on the story of Pablo Picasso, personal life, famous paintings, trivia. Pablo Picasso was a Spanish painter, sculptor, and artist who is widely considered one of the most important and influential figures in the history of modern art. Pablo Picasso was born on October 25, 1881, in the city of Malaga, Spain. His full name was Pablo Diego José Francisco de Paula Juan Nepomuceno Maria de los Remedios Cipriano de la Santísima Trinidad Martyr Patricio Cleto Ruiz y Picasso. His father, José Ruiz Blasco, was a painter and art teacher, and his mother, Maria Picasso y López, was a homemaker. Picasso showed a natural talent for art from a young age, and he began taking art lessons from his father when he was just 7 years old. In 1895, at the age of 13, he was accepted into the prestigious School of Fine Arts in Barcelona, where he studied for 2 years before dropping out. In 1900, Picasso moved to Paris, where he quickly became immersed in the city's vibrant art scene. He was exposed to a wide range of artistic styles and movements, and he began experimenting with different techniques and approaches to art making. He quickly gained a reputation as a talented and innovative artist, and he played a key role in the development of several major art movements, including Cubism and Surrealism. Pablo Picasso moved to Paris in 1904, where he quickly became a central figure in the city's vibrant art scene. Picasso is known for his pioneering role in the development of several major art movements, including Cubism, Surrealism, and Abstract Expressionism. He was a prolific artist who produced thousands of paintings, sculptures, and other works of art over the course of his long career. He was also a highly innovative and experimental artist who was constantly seeking new ways to push the boundaries of artistic expression. Pablo Picasso had a tumultuous personal life and was known for his relationships with women and his many affairs. He was married twice and had 4 children. Picasso's first marriage was to Olga Koklova, a Russian dancer he met in 1917. The couple were married in 1918 and had a son, Paulo, in 1921. However, the marriage was unhappy, and the couple eventually separated in 1935. They remained legally married until Olga's death in 1955. Picasso's second marriage was to Jacqueline Roque, a French woman he met in the 1950s. The couple were married in 1961 and remained together until Picasso's death in 1973. They had no children together. Throughout his life, Picasso had many affairs and relationships with other women, and he fathered several children outside of his marriages. He was known for being a charismatic figure, and he had a reputation for being a ladies' man. He died in Mougins, France in 1973 at the age of 91. Pablo Picasso was a prolific artist who produced thousands of paintings over the course of his long career. Some of his most famous paintings include Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. This painting is considered a masterpiece of modern art and a key work in the development of Cubism. It depicts 5 women in a brothel in the Spanish city of Avignon, and it was a radical departure from traditional methods of representing the human form. Guernica. This painting was created in response to the bombing of the Spanish town of Guernica during the Spanish Civil War. It is a powerful and emotionally charged work that depicts the suffering and devastation caused by the bombing. The Old Guitarist. This painting depicts an old, haggard man playing a guitar and is an example of Picasso's blue period, a time when he used the color blue to convey a sense of sadness and melancholy. Girl Before a Mirror. This painting depicts a young woman looking at her reflection in a mirror. It is an example of Picasso's signature Cubist style, which involves breaking down objects into geometric shapes and reassembling them in abstract compositions. The blue period is a term used to describe the paintings produced by Pablo Picasso between 1901 and 1904. During this time, Picasso was living in poverty in Barcelona and was struggling to make a living as an artist. His paintings from this period are characterized by their somber, muted blue tones and their themes of isolation, loneliness, and poverty. The blue period was a time of great personal and artistic struggle for Picasso, and his paintings from this time reflect his difficult emotional state. Many of the paintings from this period depict people who are marginalized, such as beggars, street musicians, and the poor. The blue color palette serves to convey a sense of sadness and melancholy. Some of the most famous paintings from Picasso's blue period include The Old Guitarist, La Vie, and The Blue Room. These paintings are considered some of the most important works of the blue period and are highly valued by collectors and art enthusiasts. The Rose period is a term used to describe the paintings produced by Pablo Picasso between 1904 and 1906. During this time, Picasso's art began to shift away from the somber, muted tones of his blue period, and he began to use more cheerful colors such as pink, yellow, and orange. The paintings from this period are often characterized by their playful, circus-like themes and their use of bright, warm colors. The Rose period was a time of great artistic creativity for Picasso, and he produced a large number of paintings, sculptures, and other works of art during this time. Many of the paintings from this period depict circus performers, harlequins, and other whimsical subjects. The use of bright, warm colors serves to convey a sense of joy and optimism, and the paintings from this period are often seen as a contrast to the more somber works of the Blue period. Some of the most famous paintings from Picasso's Rose period include The Family of Saltimbanque and Young Ladies of Avignon. These paintings are considered some of the most important works of the Rose period and are highly valued by collectors and art enthusiasts. Pablo Picasso was greatly influenced by African art and primitivism, and this influence is evident in his paintings from the period 1907 to 1909. During this time, Picasso became interested in the art of Africa and the so-called primitive cultures of Oceania and the Americas. He was drawn to the expressive, simplified forms and bold, flat color schemes of these art traditions, and he began to incorporate these elements into his own art. The paintings from this period are characterized by their distorted, abstracted forms and their use of bold, flat areas of color. Many of the paintings from this period depict figures with exaggerated, mask-like faces and elongated limbs. The influence of African art and primitivism is also evident in Picasso's use of bright, decorative patterns and his interest in depicting ritual and ceremonial subjects. Some of the most famous paintings from this period include Les Demoiselles d'Avignon and the Young Ladies of Avignon. These paintings are considered some of the most important works of the African art and primitivism period and are highly valued by collectors and art enthusiasts. Synthetic Cubism is a term used to describe the paintings produced by Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque between 1912 and 1919. During this time, the two artists developed a new approach to the Cubist style that they had pioneered in the early 20th century. In synthetic cubism, the artists simplified the geometric shapes and flat planes of their earlier Cubist works and began to incorporate more recognizable forms into their compositions. They also began to use a wider range of materials and techniques such as collage, papier-colle, and stenciling. These new techniques allowed the artists to create more complex, layered compositions that incorporated a wider range of textures and patterns. The paintings from this period are characterized by their use of bright, bold colors and their incorporation of recognizable forms. Many of the paintings from this period depict still lifes and landscapes, and they often include elements of collage and papier-colle. Some of the most famous paintings from this period include guitar and still life with chair caning. These paintings are considered some of the most important works of synthetic cubism and are highly valued by collectors and art enthusiasts. During the period from 1919 to 1929, Pablo Picasso's art underwent a number of significant changes, and he was influenced by a number of different styles and movements. One of the main influences on Picasso's art during this time was neoclassicism, a style that was characterized by a return to classical forms and motifs. Picasso was drawn to the clean lines and formal compositions of neoclassicism, and he produced a number of paintings in this style, including Three Musicians and the Pipes of Pan. Another major influence on Picasso's art during this period was Surrealism, a movement that was characterized by the use of dreamlike imagery and the irrational, the surreal. Picasso was drawn to the expressive, irrational nature of surrealism, and he produced a number of paintings in this style, including The Dream. The paintings from this period are characterized by their use of bright, bold colors and their incorporation of classical forms and surreal imagery. Many of the paintings from this period depict figures and scenes from mythology and literature, and they often include elements of fantasy and the irrational. Some little-known facts about Pablo Picasso. Picasso was left-handed. He was a skilled pianist and composer, and he wrote a number of classical pieces throughout his life. Picasso was known for his love of bullfighting, and he often incorporated bullfighting themes into his art. He had a pet monkey named Monina, who was often featured in his paintings and drawings. Picasso was an avid collector of African and oceanic art, and he was heavily influenced by these traditional art forms. He was a skilled draftsman and could draw with great detail and accuracy when he wanted to, but he often preferred to work in a more spontaneous and expressive style. Picasso was known for his love of practical jokes and had a mischievous sense of humor. He had a close friendship with the French writer and poet Guillaume Apollinaire, and the two men were influential figures in the Parisian art scene. Picasso was a talented actor and appeared in several films, including Jean Cocteau's The Testament of Orpheus. He was a skilled ceramicist and worked with ceramics late in his career, producing a number of beautiful and highly sought-after ceramic works. Many of Pablo Picasso's paintings can be seen in museums and art galleries around the world. Some of the places where his works are on display include the Picasso Museum in Paris, France. This museum is dedicated to the work of Pablo Picasso and houses a large collection of his paintings, sculptures, and other works of art. The Museo Picasso in Barcelona, Spain. This museum is located in Picasso's hometown of Barcelona and features a comprehensive collection of his works, including paintings, drawings, and prints. The Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, USA. The Metropolitan Museum of Art has a large collection of Picasso's works, including paintings, sculptures, and drawings. The Tate Modern in London, England. The Tate Modern has a significant collection of Picasso's works, including paintings from every period of his career. The National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., USA. The National Gallery of Art has a number of Picasso's paintings, including works from his Blue Period, his Rose Period, and his Cubist period. The Art Institute of Chicago in Chicago, USA. The Art Institute of Chicago has a collection of Picasso's works, including paintings, sculptures, and prints. These are just a few examples of the many museums and galleries around the world where you can see the paintings of Pablo Picasso.